Exactly 2 years ago, BTS's Jungkook released the digital single 7, a track that would quickly gain massive attention across streaming platforms and music circles globally. Today marks the second anniversary of that release, and fans around the world have not forgotten its significance. Interestingly, Jungkook himself took a simple but personal approach to commemorate this moment. By singing 7 live during a recent Weverse broadcast, the live event wasn't promoted as a special anniversary stream. In fact, the atmosphere was casual. Jungkook appeared relaxed, dressed in comfortable clothes, and settled into a quiet space where he interacted with fans in real time. As always, the fan comments flooded the screen, ranging from playful emojis to questions and greetings from all corners of the globe. But at one point in the stream, Jungkook paused, smiled, and began singing 7. That moment instantly captured the attention of everyone watching. Unlike promotional performances with choreographed routines and stage lighting, this version of 7 was stripped down and raw. There was no backing track, no dancers, no dramatic effects, just Jungkook and his voice. Yet, it held a unique charm. His vocal delivery remained strong and clear, showing not only his consistency as a performer but also how much the song has become a part of his identity as a solo artist. The version he sang wasn't notably different in melody or lyrics, but fans pointed out how his voice had matured since the original release. The control, breath work, and natural ease with which he navigated the song gave it a renewed freshness, showing his continued growth even after 2 years of performing the track. Jungkook didn't offer a speech or commentary afterward. He simply smiled and continued the conversation with fans, answering unrelated questions and moving on, as if the performance had been just another moment in the stream. For fans, however, that moment carried symbolic meaning. It confirmed that Jungkook, despite his various commitments including military service, had not forgotten the importance of 7 in his discography. Though the tone of the live was light and the performance casual, the act itself served as a recognition of the track's lasting relevance. The second anniversary of 7 also sparked activity across social media platforms, where fans posted snippets of the live broadcast, combined with clips and photos from the song's original promotional period. Hashtags related to hashtag 7/2 anniversary and hashtag JungkookLive began trending within hours. The video of Jungkook's spontaneous live performance quickly made rounds, reaching fans who missed the live broadcast and igniting conversations about the evolution of his solo work. It's worth noting that Jungkook didn't overstate the significance of the anniversary. He didn't declare it a major event, nor did he prepare an elaborate campaign or release new remixes. Instead, he allowed the song to speak for itself. That simplicity, opting to perform live in a natural setting rather than in a studio production, reflected a certain confidence in the song's longevity. In the 2 years since its release, 7 has achieved notable milestones, but this article will focus less on charts or awards and more on the artistic and cultural impact the song has maintained. The decision to perform it on a live stream rather than a public concert stage shows Jungkook's understanding of how deeply connected his fanbase is through digital mediums. Rather than commemorating the moment with industry fanfare, he chose direct interaction, one of the core strengths that BTS and its members have embraced throughout their careers. This quiet celebration, in a way, fits perfectly with Jungkook's evolving public persona. Since launching his solo career, he has demonstrated a preference for authentic connection over spectacle. Even during group activities, his style leaned toward simplicity with impact. This recent performance was no different. The rest of the live included updates about daily routines, mentions of music practice, and lighthearted moments with fans. But it was the casual singing of 7 that stood out. It wasn't a new release, nor a major announcement, yet it became the most replayed portion of the live stream within hours. For Jungkook, this was another moment in his musical journey. For fans, it was a reminder of the song that marked the beginning of his solo era. 2 years after its release, 7 continues to play an active role in his artistic timeline. And if this spontaneous performance is any indication, the song isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Released in July 2023, Seven was introduced with a concept that emphasized both musical maturity and broad accessibility. The song featured a melodic structure rooted in contemporary pop with slight R&B influences. It was catchy, radio-friendly, and intentionally global in sound. The lyrics were easy to follow, the hook memorable, and the overall composition tailored to appeal across various age groups and regions. Collaborating with British rapper Latto for the featured verse added an international element to the release, helping position Jungkook as not only a K-pop artist, but a mainstream solo act with crossover potential. The collaboration was strategic but also fluid. It didn't dominate the song, but enhanced its flow. The decision to include Latto was one of several choices that reflected how the project was curated to reflect modern pop trends without overwhelming Jungkook's natural style. Although the focus of this article avoids detailed chart rankings, it is undeniable that Seven reached a large audience quickly. Its impact was evident not only in fan circles, but also in the broader music conversation. But beyond numbers and statistics, the more subtle success of Seven came from how it defined Jungkook's tone as a soloist. Seven was not overly complex musically. Instead, it leaned on strong structure, memorable rhythm, and clean production. It gave space for Jungkook's vocals to stand out, not just in terms of technical delivery, but in tone and clarity. The song was also accompanied by a visual concept that supported his growing image as an independent artist with mass appeal. In interviews following its release, Jungkook mentioned that Seven represented a fresh chapter. He expressed interest in exploring more styles and sounds in future works. That initial statement proved to be accurate, as the following months included a gradual rollout of more content, musical features, and solo-oriented performances. 2 years later, Seven remains a reference point for every discussion about Jungkook's music. It's the song that often gets mentioned first when introducing his solo discography. Even casual fans or listeners who aren't deeply involved in BTS fandom tend to recognize Seven, due to its widespread availability on streaming platforms and social media. Its endurance is also partly due to how the song has been integrated into various moments throughout the past 2 years. Jungkook performed it in interviews, on international stages, and occasionally during digital broadcasts. Each performance has helped keep the song alive, not just as a one-time hit, but as a recurring piece of his music identity. The recent Weverse live performance, though informal, brings the timeline full circle. It shows how the song has transitioned from a brand new release to a familiar favorite, capable of being revisited spontaneously without losing relevance. The casual nature of the performance suggests a level of comfort and ownership. Seven no longer feels like a debut, but like a staple in Jungkook's catalog. What's also interesting is how the tone of the live contrasts with the original release campaign. Back in 2023, everything surrounding Seven was precise. Teaser images, concept photos, scheduled appearances, and curated interviews. The release strategy was structured, as expected for a high-profile solo debut. Fast forward to now, and Jungkook's choice to acknowledge the song through a simple live stream indicates a shift, not in importance, but in approach. He no longer needs formal campaigns to bring attention to the track. His voice and presence are enough. Moreover, fans have gradually adapted to this change. The excitement they showed during the live performance wasn't rooted in grand visuals or exclusive content, but in the authenticity of the moment. A 2-year-old song, performed live without planning, still had the ability to generate attention and engagement. That says something about the longevity of Seven, as both a musical piece and a symbol of Jungkook's growth. As we look ahead to potential future releases, Seven will likely remain a foundational piece of Jungkook's solo journey. It was the starting line where style, identity, and direction were first set in motion. Now, 2 years later, the fact that it can be celebrated not with fireworks but with a few sung verses on a live stream suggests that it has achieved a kind of quiet permanence.